About time you come in.
Hello and welcome to Cognitions, Speaking the Unspeakable with JP.
And Stacy D.
I'm JP Craddock. I'm here with my girl, the wonderful Stacy D Love. We are broadcasting here on KUAW Radio, which stands for Knowledge, Understanding,
And wisdom.
You can also catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Twitch, and TuneIn. Okay, coming up,
and follow us.
Like, share, follow, all of that good stuff. Okay, coming up on the show today, our question of the day. Here's a question, D. Have you ever been in a relationship and you kind of knew what was going on, but your partner in the relationship was lying, denying, and tried to convince you that you were delusional, insane, and that you did not see what you saw, heard what you heard, caught what you caught?
What you caught?
Yes, because this is something that occurs a lot when
All
there's
the
cheating
time.
taking place. Okay, so that's our question.
Cheating trauma. That's me. I need a
Cheating
shirt.
trauma. We need to come up with a term for that.
I know.
Okay, so that's gaslighting.
No, that's a restaurant. Gaslight Grill.
D, that's not the gaslight we talking about. I'll let you tell me about the gaslight grill later because I never heard of it. Our question of the day today
It's
is
actually right there off of I-35 and 135th Street off of 69 Highway. Dang, I just did a whole commercial.
I'm
Y'all
trying
owe
to
me
figure out
money.
why you did that whole commercial for them people. Like, did they?
Their food is really
Did
good.
you get
though.
some money? You didn't give me my cut.
No, you know I wouldn't do you like
Okay,
that, JP.
D, just stop doing free commercials.
You know I wouldn't do you
Okay,
like that.
question of the day, which is what is gaslighting and how do I resist it? So I'm going to give a more thorough definition of it. I'm going to give the dictionary definition. I'm going to give the mental health definition and how to resist being gaslighted in relationships. And also in because oftentimes the news stories, politicians a lot will gaslight
All
the
the
public.
time.
And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. So that's coming up around the half-hour mark. That's our question of the day. But before we get to that and mental health and illness in the news, let's do our check-in. D, what you're hot, D? You are
Yes.
never at a comfortable temperature.
Okay, so the problem is
You either
that,
hot or cold. It never fails.
Okay, I'm right back on the whole weight loss thing, you guys. You know, I fell off, but you know, you fall off and we get
The
up.
D's back
Hey, y'all
on.
remember that song?
The D's
We
back
fall off
on.
and we get back up. So I'm taking these thermogenics, and it's like,
Oh, they raise your temperature.
yeah, raise my temperature up.
Yeah. And
What are you talking about?
so
It
you're
got me
you're
hot.
having a
It's
substance.
getting hot up in here.
This is a
Take off all your
substance.
clothes.
Mr. Walker don't want you to take your clothes off, but this is a substance-induced menopause. Is that what this is?
It is.
Because you flashing right now.
all the time. I've been hot. I just didn't
Are
want
you flashing on top of menopause?
I don't
flashing?
have menopause.
Oh, you don't have menopause. You already went through.
No, never
Oh,
did.
it ain't started.
Or maybe, no, we're going to say it just passed me over.
I don't know if that's possible.
It could
Is that
be.
possible?
I think it might be.
You can get knocked up right now.
Nah, if it do,
Are
it'd be a
your
miracle.
eggs working? Oh, D.
They might be.
Oh, D.
But ain't nothing
You
coming out,
need
though.
menopause. You you need to talk to your doctor and
Nothing's
tell
gonna
your
come out.
You better tell your doctor I need you to induce menopause.
No.
D, do you want to have a baby right now?
No. I have my tubes taken out.
Oh, your tubes are gone.
They gone.
Oh.
Not
oh, you
just
all right.
tied. Yeah,
then
not
you don't
just
need
tied.
menopause. You don't need menopause. You
I
don't
sure
need
don't. They can
you don't
keep it
need
where it is. But the thermogenic stuff is like really real.
But it should be helping you to it should be burning your calories faster.
Yes, it is.
So I need to know, what are you taking? We can do that commercial because I'm
We
going to
can do
try
that
it out.
commercial. I don't know, but I give you his name.
Wait a minute.
he's
You
a
bought this
farmer-
off the street?
Basically, yeah.
I'm afraid of that. I'm
No,
afraid.
he's a
Got
pharmacist.
fentanyl in it.
No, he's a pharmacist and he's a pharmaceutical rep.
Is he African American?
Yes.
And he's selling this out of the pharmacy,
No.
out of his living room.
Yes.
I'm scared
But he
again.
gives you a whole food plan. Be quiet. He gives you a whole food plan. He shows you how to take it. He gives you a workout plan that you don't even have to go to the gym. He's like, he's
Do
really
you need to
good.
give him a full shout out and then tag him, like, because we do record the show for social media. If he's not listening on TuneIn or something, do you need to give him a shout out like we did the two old men?
Yeah. His name is Dante Combs. He's like, when I tell you he's the truth.
Invite him onto the show.
Okay.
Wait a minute, hold up. Let's wait and see how much weight you lose.
Okay, well, since I have started it, I have lost a total of 7 pounds.
When'd you start?
I started like 10 days ago, but I have
That's good.
but I have also lost 5 inches.
Really?
Yes.
We need to have him on the show.
And I lost it in my thighs and around my back. Yeah, because he does all of that while you in his living room.
I'm nervous again.
I mean,
I can't be up in his living room.
can't
I
be-
need for him to be at your office,
okay.
okay? And but let's just have him on the show so that our listeners and viewers, so that our listeners can find out about this because it's working.
It's most definitely is working. It has like have to remind myself to eat. I have a alarm that reminds me to eat or do a protein shake. This is him.
Oh,
and
he's in great
50,
shape.
and he's 52 and he's a Q.
Well,
so he's going to
you
give
know,
us
overlook that.
no, because he's going to give you the Greek discount, baby. You're not going to
Oh,
overlook
thank
that.
the Lord, he's a Q. Gotta love the Qs.
So he's going to give you the Greek discount. And
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's costly, but it's effective.
It works.
It works. Like I said, I have
But
to
wait a minute, hold
remind
on.
myself to eat.
Why you should be getting another discount because you just did a commercial for him.
Oh, yeah, I am.
And if we have him on the show,
We got to get another
I want a
We
discount.
want a discount.
Okay. This sounds like, I'm just glad that it's working.
And the thermogenics make me thirsty. So I am
You're
getting
drinking
all
your
my
water.
water in. I'm getting all my water in.
So, but your temperature is up because I knew when you said you was hot from that means it's burning calories. Because when a supplement increases your temperature, now this is not my area of expertise, but I do know that usually the ones that work and that have you burning calories, burning fat, it's going to elevate your temperature a little bit.
And it's not making my blood pressure go up.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm sleeping at night.
Really? Oh, my wife needs
I'm
this.
sleeping at night.
My wife needs this.
But I'm getting
Because
up.
she need her pressure down and she needs sleep.
But I am getting up at 5:30 in the morning and I'm walking 20 minutes. And then I'm in my living room with my bands.
That's great.
Yeah, but I'm going to sleep like at 10:30, and I'm sleeping until my alarm go off.
You're working out and doing this and drinking your water.
And for only 10 days.
That's why you're losing these inches. Okay, so yeah, ask him. And you're the one that's supposed to book people to come on the show anyway.
I know, we got away from that, didn't we?
You got away from that because that was never my responsibility.
Everything we do together is we.
No, I come up with the
everything
full,
is we.
No, I come up with the full every segment, every D.
You know, we
all
have the
you
helping
supposed
process.
to do is have the
the
guest
helping
on the
process
show
together. We do the helping process together.
because you get ready. Okay, D, could you book this man to come on
I
the
sure
show?
Can.
And
I
he
sure
can talk to us about this, and I'm willing to try it out.
Yeah.
All right. So that's your check-in. That the D is. No, I asked you about that.
Yeah.
You hot and losing weight.
Hot and losing weight.
And your thighs are thinner. You are back to dropping it like it's hot
like that
and
water.
twerking.
Yes.
you
Not
probably
twerking
should.
yet.
You probably should wait for
Yeah, because
twerking.
twerking puts me on the injury list.
All right. Is that that all your check-in, D?
Yes, that's the check-in.
Okay.
I do have one little bitty one.
Oh, go ahead.
My granddaughter went to nationals last week in Florida, Orlando. My little 12-year-old daughter, and she placed in 2 classes above her. So I was very proud of Drea. Drea Lynn, you did really, really well. I'm very
bless
proud
her
of
heart.
you. Yeah.
Tell her I said congratulations. She has been in here.
Yes.
She hasn't been on the show.
No, she said she's not going to do that.
Okay. Yeah, you know what?
What?
It'd be cute to have the
I think we need to
one
do
of
a
the
back to
babies
school.
on the show.
We need to do a back to school show.
Yes.
Sasha Poole, the 3 boys.
No.
What? You know she wants to get on the show.
No, my
It's
baby
in
will
her
try,
blood.
She will try to take over the show.
It's in her blood.
No, she will upstage us. No.
Because she goes to regular school in August.
My baby cannot be trusted to be on the. She's too much.
I think we need to
Let's
talk
have
about.
Drea. No, I'm so she will hijack the show. Ain't neither one of us ready. If we a live show, no, the show would have to be pre-recorded.
Pre-recorded.
In order to have my baby on here. Okay, she do way too much. Ask Drea and one of her little friends if they want to come on to the show. And and we can talk about school and back to school and anything that they want to talk about.
Okay, cool.
In fact, let's see if they can come up with a question of the day that pertains to, that relates to kids.
Okay.
And we'll cover
so
it.
we need to really do this next week or week after next.
Ask her to do some research. Ask her friends if there is something that they want to know about.
Okay.
If they have a question that we could answer and discuss with them, this could be fun. Actually, if
It's
it
gonna
goes
be
really
good,
well,
JP.
we
This
should
is
we
good.
should do like it again.
Okay.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. Because I love the kids. If
Oh,
we
I
can get
have
a
a
kid on the
question,
show,
too.
that's a party for me.
Okay, so
As long as it ain't mine.
Cognitions, speaking Unspeakable with JP and Stacy, we do full transparency. So everyone knows that I have the twins. So the twins have the option to split up and
What
go
do
to
you mean?
different schools.
Oh, they need their space.
And they want
Is this
to.
for identity development? They want to develop that. Ooh, we could have did a whole show on that.
Oh my God. It's really like, y'all don't want, in my mind, I was like, y'all don't want to be brothers. I would love to have a twin.
But they're twins.
yeah.
And this is something to think about. How often do twins, because they have been with each other,
From the time they were,
consumed.
yeah.
Like they had to share
The womb.
the womb with each other. So I can see
But they were
them-
in different bags, though.
But they still was all elbowing each other. Get off of me! Get off of me!
Yeah, because Brandon was the bigger one. He was 2 pounds 1 ounce.
Taking up most of the food.
Taking most of the food.
Taking up most of the
Mhm.
space. Probably came out first. He came out first,
He came out first. Yes, he did. Yes,
so
he did.
I can see how twins, spending their whole lives together, elementary school, middle school, high, I can see them being like, I want some space to develop my own identity. It's just something that you
And
do
they're
not
going to be juniors this year.
You don't typically hear about twins doing that, though.
Mm-mm.
So what makes it interesting is that we could do a show. You know what?
What?
You need to have them on the show, too.
Oh, hell, you want the whole doggone family on the show. Okay.
Let me tell you,
ask.
that's going to be a good show.
It's going to be a good show.
Do they know other twins?
Yeah, because guess what? They have first cousins that's 2 sets of first cousins that's twins. So we
Twins
think the
run in your
twins.
family.
Nope, it runs on the mom's side. It runs on mine too, but it's really down, down, down. Like my
Okay.
grandfather was a twin. My great grandmother had 2 sets of twins, but this is the first set of twins in our family in a minute. And my grandfather had 2 sets of twins too,
We need...
by 2 different women.
Okay. He was a Rolling Stone.
Yes, he was. Did not have Facebook at the time. That's how he was able to get that off.
Wherever he laid his hat,
Was his
twins
home.
came up.
Boy, for real.
Listen, we need your grandsons and another set of twins to present the other perspective.
Okay. Do
'Cause
we
your
have enough room in the studio?
We
for
gonna
that?
have to make room. Mr. Walker gonna have to work it out
Okay.
because we have your grandsons presenting the perspective of they are obviously wanting some time apart, but we need another set of twins to come in who are coming from the opposite perspective. That's gonna be a good show.
Mm-hmm.
And the psychology behind being a
Wow.
twin. Imagine if there was another you, somebody who looks just like you, and you have shared
Okay, now they're
whole
not
life
identical
with them.
twins. They're not identical.
Oh, they're not. I thought they were
They're
identical.
not identical. You done seen them before? At the wedding?
I ain't seen the twins.
You didn't come to my
They
wedding?
were at the wedding?
They were the candle lighters. They had
Okay.
all my birthday parties because honey
That was
can't have
ages
a
ago.
party. I guess so, huh? Because honey can't have a party without them being there. They're going to crash it.
We need them and a set of identical twins.
Okay.
That's both perspectives.
Mhm.
Because what they're presenting with is something that I think would typically come from identical twins. They're fraternal twins, but they still need some time apart.
They need some time apart.
That is something that we need to discuss.
But
Like,
they
why?
really miss each other because like this summer, they have really been apart. And when they see each other, they hug, then they fight, then they hug, then they fight. Yeah.
We need them on the show.
Okay, I'm going to ask.
Okay, see, D, I'm helping you out with what is
Mhm.
your thing for the show, D.
I know, I see.
I'm have some good questions
I
though.
know you are.
Because that's gonna be juicy. Okay.
Because
What
one of
else
the
you got?
twins, he called and asked me for some Wall Street bag. Help him with his Wall Street bag. And I told him about
Wall
you.
Street bag, his stocks.
Mm-hmm. And
Really?
I told him about him. I told him about you. He was like, "Oh yeah, I need to talk to him then."
Oh,
So that's one of the twins.
tell him to check out the show today because I'm about to get into a little something.
Yeah, I need to check that out and see if I made it.
I'm about to get into a little. We need to discuss that. I realigned my whole pandemic portfolio because I realized that it was not consistently making money. And so I pulled a lot of the money from the oil companies. I ditched all the oil companies but 2. And remember, you and I, Mr. Walker, have a little bit of a competition going on. Well, I was failing miserably. Our competition, we all invested $100, and then we're going to come back later and see who made the most. I did not pick a good company, and the second company I picked was worse than the first. And it was not. I was like, "Oh, they gonna get me on this one because I'm not doing well." But this morning, I reinvested that buddy again, and it's finally doing well. But have your grandson watch today's show because remember about a month ago, under mental health and illness in the news, I talked about Tesla facing multiple lawsuits by the black employees there for racism, harassment, discrimination, and them, managers and co-workers calling the plant a slave plantation because there's too many black people working there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Well, and remember what I said on the show, that I was going to pull all of my money invested in Tesla and move it around, because I had a few $1,000s on Tesla, and then I found out they racist, and I had to pull that money.
Yeah, we're not.
Guess what I
mine too.
found?
What?
D. I pulled that money and I reinvested it in 2 other electric vehicle companies. Now, before I get into this, let me state, here's my disclaimer. I'm a therapist. I'm not a stockbroker. I am not encouraging our listeners or viewers. I am not offering any stock investment suggestions, tips. I'm saying what I do. Don't y'all go out and move your money around and then be calling the station.
JP said
we're not doing that, okay? But
these are not the views of KUAW Radio.
Right. But we talked about the racial discrimination and the lawsuits at Tesla, and the CEO of Tesla saying that the black employees basically just needed to suck it up and be thicker skinned and basically live with racism.
No.
Okay, listen to this. I pulled all that money from Tesla, like I said I was going to, and I invested it in a company called Rivian, which is an electric vehicle car maker, that their stock is doing better than Tesla's. In fact, Amazon invested in this particular electric vehicle company.
They're going to be their van.
And they are using them. That's why Amazon is their largest individual investor, because they're going to be using their vehicles. In 8 days, Amazon, this is how well this company's stock is doing. Amazon made $1.8 billion, not million, $1.8 billion in 8 days on this company stock. That's how much better they were doing than Tesla's stock. Well, if Amazon making money off somebody, I got to jump on board with it. So I purchased that stock. And then
and how you spell that name?
Rivian, and then there's another electric vehicle company that I invested in. And so let's see. I'm anxious to see how that goes, but I'm pleased with myself that I said I was going to pull that money from there, and I did. Okay, so that's my check-in. I have another quick check-in. Our baby has been born. Because that's how you worded it. That's how you worded it. To me, I'm like, no, the puppy was born. But as the D would say, my baby been born.
I forgot to bring y'all stuff.
What stuff?
You have a baby shower?
I
have all type of stuff from
Dream. What? I use the term baby to describe this puppy just to please you, D. We not doing baby showers, though. That's going too far.
Well, I will most definitely invite your baby to the birthday party, though.
Well, you played a major role in this because I had never even heard of Malteses before you. And so we did our research. We decided to go with the Maltese. It has been born. We're going to visit it this weekend. And so this is wonderful. Like, we're going to be bringing... and Sashi named...
Are y'all going to get the baby this weekend?
Oh, man. What did she name this dog? A weird name. Oh, yeah. It's here in the state of Missouri.
I know. It's not that far from my house.
It's the...
Nadine, tell us what the name is, please.
Yes, because I can't remember the name. And Sashi immediately came up with the name. She immediately came up with a name for, like, this... the baby. Okay, here's my next, here's mental health and illness in the news. This is actually mental health and illness in the media, and it's really quick. There's a movie called The Sun that I watched.
Is it a devil movie?
No, you're thinking about, like, The Good Son, I think, which was a real good movie. I
It
don't
was a
think
devil
it was a
movie.
devil movie. Do you think everything's the devil?
Deal with the evil stuff.
You think everything is evil?
Me.
You think everything is the devil?
But I am gonna go see the Barbie movie.
The who?
I'm gonna take Sashi.
Oh, the Barbie movie.
We're gonna go together. I'm gonna go.
That's
get
gonna be
Sashi.
cute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this movie, The Sun, I'm talking about it today because it does cover depression, and it is my suggestion.
Is it
that-
S-U-N or S-O-N?
S-O-N.
The
S-O-N
Sun.
is about a son who has depression. And I am suggesting that to the parents out there, if you have a kid who has depression, you should watch this movie. But let me prepare you, it is intense. It's really intense. So you kind of want to be in a good mental headspace before you watch it. The positive message that it highlights is the importance of following therapeutic recommendations. And for parents, if you're not a therapist, you are oftentimes parents express like, we're at a loss. We don't know what's going on. We don't understand these symptoms. We don't know why our kid is depressed. And so in this movie, there is some therapeutic recommendations, and I'm encouraging people to watch it so that they can see the importance of following those recommendations. Okay, now there is a downside, because,
It's always a downside.
I did critique the movie just a little bit. I'm suggesting watching the movie, though. But one of the downsides is that it wasn't fully clinically accurate with the diagnosis, okay? And I'm a stickler for being accurate with the diagnoses. So be prepared when you watch the movie. They're going to say acute depression, and that's not an actual diagnosis. They should have said major depressive disorder, okay? And in this case, it was severe. In fact, I think it was severe with psychotic features.
Oh, wow.
And so diagnostically, I really wish that movies would call things what they're supposed to be called, address
They
different
have a SMED.
therapies.
They're supposed to have a SMED there.
Oh, who?
SMED, subject matter expert.
Well, why are these movies always?
I don't know, but I think you need to
incorrect?
call them and let them know you can be a SMED and run me my $5,000 check or my $1 million check.
Because any mental health movie, if you notice, I'm always having to say, no, that is not the correct diagnosis. No, that is not how that therapy is done. No, that's not the name of the therapy. Like, and I've been wondering, who are the experts that they are consulting with? Because it's always something incorrect.
I think we need to write a letter, and I need to be your assistant, and we need to make this happen.
And share that money.
And share that money.
Let's work on it. Because these movies, they're good movies. But come on, people, get it right.
Give us some good
Therapists are a
information.
dime a dozen. If you throw a rock into a crowd, you're going to hit a therapist upside the head. So why do these movies always have incorrect diagnostic information? I don't understand that. And the other problem with the movie is there was a behavior being exhibited by the kid. He was very truant, and they didn't really explain why, because his truancy wasn't because of peer interactions, because he would become truant at a brand new school. And so I kind of wish that the movie would have covered that, because that lets parents know that they need to look into things like social anxiety disorder, social phobia, school phobia. And so it would have been good if the consultant that was working with them on this movie would have pointed out, like, okay, we kind of have an opportunity to discuss a couple of other diagnoses that could be playing a role in what we are saying that this child is struggling with. Okay. And then last but not least, once again, they had
loud over there.
They had a totally ineffective therapist on the movie. The psychiatrist gave recommendations that need to be followed, but once again, the therapist, they always have bad therapy in the movies.
We need to write some letters and make
and
that
it's
money.
Annoying. The best
We need to go get that bag.
we sure do. Let me suggest a movie. If you want to see good therapy in a movie, Good Will Hunting.
I've never seen that before.
Well, it was Robin Williams played a therapist gig before he committed suicide. Which, I mean,
Are you serious?
Yes. Robin Williams played
Robin
therapist
Williams
and
is-
psychiatrist like 2 or 3 times.
Really?
But he had his own mental health issues.
Hell
and
yeah, because couldn't nobody act as stupid as he was. You
Well,
have
that's
to
the-
have a mental illness.
that was that
to be-
bipolar mania.
Yes,
he
you
looked
have to.
so manic.
Just like Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy's,
Yes.
Richard Pryor's,
Yeah.
the greats. You can't be that funny
And not have
and
a
not have
little
something going on with
something going on.
Makes the world go around. Okay, you guys, if anybody want to know the name of the puppy, Hannah Cupcake Payne.
Oh no, Hannah. Hannah. It's Hannah.
It's Hannah? Okay, I thought it was
yeah,
Hannah.
Hannah Cupcake.
Hannah Cupcake Payne.
Oh my Lord. Is that what my baby named the puppy? Hannah Cupcake. I knew it was Hannah.
I thought
I
it
didn't
was
know she
Hannah.
added a middle name to the dog.
She got a middle name, Cupcake.
Oh my goodness. Well, at least I'm okay
Hannah
with this.
Cupcake Payne.
Hannah Cupcake.
HCP.
Pain. At least I'm okay with this dog being named Pain because our previous dog, which was Nadine's dog, she tried to say his name was Pain, and I said no, it ain't.
That you did something to.
I didn't do nothing.
You left the garage door open. I know you told me. Go ahead on and tell me.
I didn't
Gotta
leave it
tell
open
me you
on
left
purpose.
left the garage door
We don't want
open.
to traumatize the listeners by talking about what happened to that dog in the dead of winter, but I did not leave that garage open on purpose. I was going somewhere. We see that dog since. It was cold that day.
It was cold that
All
day.
right, let's get to our question of the day. What is gaslighting and how do I resist it? All right. Let's start with the actual dictionary. I wanted us to talk about this because I thought this was another one of them fly-by-night terms that people just make up, you know, and, ooh, now it's an official term, an unofficial, official term. And actually, I was mistaken. I could not have been further from the truth. The term gaslighting has been around since 1938.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, apparently there was a movie where in the movie, the husband was using trickery to convince his wife that she was insane, and he was doing something with the lighting in the house. And so when she would be like, the lights are flickering, and he was like, what are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with the lights. Something along the line of that to convince the woman that she was insane. Okay, so that brings us to the definition of this, which is, according to Merriam-Webster. Okay, and then I'm going to break it down and give the mental health perspective. Psychological manipulation of a person, usually over an extended period of time, that causes the victim to question the validity of their own thoughts, perceptions of reality, memories, and anything else related to that, and typically leads to confusion, loss of confidence, and self-esteem, uncertainty of one's emotional and mental stability, and a dependency on the perpetrator. So according to the dictionary, the person who's gaslighting is trying to convince this person that their reality is impaired as a way of gaining power over them. Okay? Now, the mental health, kind of an additional mental health twist on this is oftentimes what they are doing is gaslighting the person, not just to gain power over them, but a lot of times in situations of infidelity, they're trying to cover their behind by saying what you think is happening is not happening. What you think you walked in.
Your eyes are lying to you.
Your eyes are lying to you. You didn't act when you came home early that day. It looked like me and this woman was in the bed having sex, but you are insane because that's not what was happening.
I was giving her CPR.
I was giving her CPR. She needed a nap. I was offering her a pillow.
Yes.
And she just so happens to sleep in the nude. And so a lot of times the gaslighting is a way of them avoiding trouble themselves, not just to control their partner, but it's like, you know, okay, you keep working late and you in the office and it's just you and this woman and what's going on? You're insecure right now. You're insecure, you are imagining things, or okay, a man may say to his wife, I noticed that you keep getting up in the middle of the night, and so I followed you, and you was on the phone, and you was whispering on the phone in the kitchen, and like, what's going on? Are you insane? Why are you being so insecure? Why are you following me? Why are you spying on me? Okay, you never really answer my question. I shouldn't have to answer your question. If you wasn't so insecure and so crazy, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
You did that
up.
real good, JP.
You see how, have you experienced it, D?
Yes, I have.
And what happens is, I think that kids gaslight parents sometimes.
All the time.
When my wife and I were foster parents, sometimes I would literally catch a kid doing something, and they would lie and stick to their lie
to the end
so tight that I myself would be like, okay, wait a minute, maybe I am mistaken. And it's like,
make you believe it's true,
which they cause you to question your own reality. You're like, okay, this kid, did I really see that? Maybe I didn't. I could be mistaken. That's gaslighting.
That's gaslighting.
And so what I would do is stop and be like, hold on a minute. I saw what I saw.
You saw what you saw.
And I ain't going to let this heathen convince me. But some kids will lie and stick to the lie
and those kids are scary
and never let go of it, to the point that you start to question yourself. Like, I could be mistaken. You're not mistaken. And so in therapy, I usually have people, when they're coming in for gaslighting, it's because the perpetrator is guilty of something, and they have convinced this person that they're insecure, they're irrational, they're experiencing a clinical level of jealousy, and so they come in because they're like, I feel like I'm going crazy. And this person is convincing me that I'm crazy and that they're not the problem, I'm the problem. And that's gaslighting. Okay. So when it comes to a public forum, politicians, because politicians can be so crooked, and so they will say certain things and put out certain ads and commercials to convince you of things that are not true, which is another form of gaslighting. And there are some politicians who go so far as to actually brainwash their followers, their voters, their, people, to the point
that has happened.
Where it has happened, and that's another form of gaslighting, to the point where a person is ignoring actual facts because this person is being so convincing. And people end up adopting it. Gaslighting is also something that occurs when it comes to cults. A cult leader basically creates a little bit of insanity in people who their insanity isn't sometimes not that, how should I put it?
Stable.
They're already not very stable to start with, which leaves plenty of room
prey on those
for someone to brainwash them. And then they get swept up in it. Next thing you know, they're drinking the poison Kool-Aid. So that is, the definition of gaslighting, a little bit of the history of the word. It was basically kind of invented by Hollywood, created and presented in a movie. It even, goes as far back as, when they look at the dating of it, back to the early 1900s and different movies, this is how people got this idea that, I can advance myself by playing mind games on somebody else. Okay, now how does one resist it? Here's my thoughts on how to resist gaslighting. Gaslighting is something in a relationship. It is something that grows under what's called a closed system. This is a social work term.
Yes, it is.
Closed system. Now, let me explain to everyone what a closed system is. In abusive families, abuse is able to continue to be perpetrated because the abuser has a closed system. And it's literally like the kids are prohibited from really having friends, from spending time with people outside of the house, because if you it's
a lot
hard
of
to
homeschool children.
Yes, because if you're abusing somebody and you let them hang out with all their friends, they're going to end up telling. And even in domestic violence, a lot of times a DV perpetrator will cut that spouse off from their family. And slowly their world shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. And oftentimes it shrinks to the point where the person is rarely having contact with their own parents. Because if you are controlling and abusing a person, you have to close the system in order for it to work. If the system is open, that parent is going to say, why you with this fool? Why you, what? Or why you still with this woman? You done showed up at my house with a black eye today. Now you're not going back home. Because as I've said before, I see male victims of domestic violence. And so perpetrators of abuse, they close the system. Why you got to go over there all the time? Your mama's all right. Why you love your mama more than you love me? You don't care about me. All you care about is your mama. Why you hanging out with your friends? Your friends ain't single. You out there with them. Yet they act like hoes. How I know you ain't doing it?
Boy,
too?
he doing good today.
Yeah, you know, I'll be remember we covered the histrionic. I'm acting things out again. As the D said, everybody has at least one or two symptoms. Okay, and so yeah, I'm acting it out. But that's what they do, right? And a lot of times I have had friends who are in abusive relationships, and you do notice that you start seeing them less and less and less because the perpetrator is closing that system so that they can easily abuse and control the person without outside interference. So the way you resist this particular type of psychological abuse, gaslighting, is do not allow yourself to end up closed off from your people. If you are married and let's say, you a husband and your wife, she having all these late night phone conversations, she's whispering, and you notice her phone is locked. She done changed the lock on the phone, and just, she's disappearing for hours at a time. Do not allow that system to close, because when you talk to your friends, because the person's trying to convince you that you're crazy, that you're delusionally paranoid and insecure and jealous. But when you get that outside feedback from friends who are like, no, you're not crazy, that's foul. What are you talking about? Or, like, what? Your husband, he said what? He convinced you that when you walked in that house that they wasn't having sex, they was just in the bed naked cuddling.
Your eyes
and you
are
believe
lying to you.
Your eyes are, you didn't see what you thought you saw. And I have literally heard a person say in a therapy session, that's not what you saw. And the other person's like, I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. And as soon as I hear them say they pretty sure, I'm like, you sitting here with good vision and you saying you pretty sure. They are already moving away from the reality that they know is true. But the person has lied and been so convincing that they're like, I'm pretty sure I saw. Well, maybe, I guess they could have just been laying there naked. Really? Why were they sweating?
Why are they in your bed?
Why they hair all over the place? You came in the room, they hair all over the place, they sweaty, They in the bed, but now somehow you've allowed this person to convince you that nothing was going on. That's gaslighting. So one way to resist it is do not cut your friends off. It's like getting a second opinion. If someone is telling you something and convincing you that you're crazy, you're insane, that your grasp on reality is you've lost your grasp, that's when you're supposed to be talking to your homeboys, talking to your girlfriends like, look, this is what happened, because they are outside of the situation and they'll be able to say, now you know that wasn't right. You know that doesn't make sense. And yes, what you were initially thinking is what makes sense. Don't let this person convince you that you are crazy. That is how you remove the power of gaslighting, is getting second opinions from your loved ones, your friends, your family, bouncing things off of them like, okay, am I crazy? Or da-da-da-da-da. And they'll tell you. What are your thoughts, D?
I totally agree.
When you have been in the situation, because I know for me and my wife, when kids have tried to gaslight us, having her there allowed me to be able to say, okay.
She get you upside the
Are
head.
we
Dude,
tripping?
what you talking about? She be like,
she be like,
really?
I don't know what I ain't following. Nope. We know what's going on. In fact, my wife is really a much better investigator. I'm not really a good investigator. She was
that's
the one,
women.
Oh, she's good.
That's a female trait.
My wife can take a kid's cell phone and figure out the password.
She called.
I'm talking with one time she had only entered like 3, 4, 5 different, and the phone opened up. I said, woman.
What about she found the phone that he shouldn't have been having a phone?
Oh, several phones. We had a collection of phones that we never found out where they came from. Like, she can get into laptops. And so for me, I am more vulnerable and susceptible to gaslighting, because if a person lies consistently for a while, I will catch myself. It's just hard for me to imagine that a person is going to lie like that. And so it has in the past made me question, okay, maybe I'm tripping. And so having Nadine there, because this woman don't budge, ain't nobody budging her. She's like, nope, we know what's going on here.
I know 20 years ago when she said she's going to make you her husband.
And I'm her husband.
And she, Nadine, I can tell you when it was. We was at the baby showers. We was at Courtney's Courtney.
Are you serious?
Courtney's baby shower. Yeah.
Oh my Lord. This is something I didn't know until today.
She gonna get me. But you still my girl.
This woman, she stands firm on things, and that has helped me. That's why I say you have to be able to consult with someone else, because I have a weakness for kids anyway, and kids will sometimes be able to convince me of things, and it has helped having her there to be like, we know what that heathen was doing, and then she'll investigate and prove it.
You do have another comment on YouTube.
Oh, what is
from Dr. Carissa? It said, it's more to avoid accountability by minimizing the victim's experience than it is about lying.
Absolutely.
Period.
Lying is included, though, because you're lying in order to do it. It's a lie to present to someone and convince them that they are not experiencing what they're experiencing, they're not seeing or hearing what they're seeing and hearing, and convincing them that they are insane when they are not, in and of itself, is a lie. But I agree with what she's saying.
Most definitely.
And so you don't want to allow that system to be closed. You want to bounce things off of your friends and your family members, because they, being outside of the situation, are going to be in a better position to help you hold on to reality.
You
know, and I know that when it comes to my friends, when someone has been like trying to gaslight them, and they'll present like, okay, this is what happened, and da 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 da, and then I'll say, really, because it looks like da 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 da, and they're like, that's what I was thinking, and but they convinced me I was crazy. Like, no, that's not crazy. Like the facts are the facts. The facts are the facts. But a person who is truly good at deception will convince you that they will convince you it ain't daylight, it be noon. You think the sun is up. You see the sun. Visual hallucinations. No, it's noon. It's daylight. Okay, that was an extreme example of gaslighting.
I'm just letting him go on. He's in his other person right now, you guys. So we're just gonna let it roll. We have not been here for 3 weeks, so he need to get it all out.
I gotta get it all out.
Got to get it all out.
I gotta get it all out. All right. Do you have anything else on gaslighting?
No, I don't have anything.
All right,
You
I'm glad
covered
we
it really
covered
well.
this.
That was a good one, yeah.
Yes, I'm glad we covered this because I think every person has or will experience this on some level. All right. That's our show for today. D, I think we're
What's
good
up?
on this. That's our show for today. Thank you all for
Yes.
joining us. And remember, worry about nothing.
And pray about everything that you do not get gaslight.
Don't allow it to happen.
Heck no.
Right. Thank you and God bless.
Bye-bye now.